Hello, students. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are you, students? Welcome. Welcome in today's class. So, student, in today's class, we are going to start a very new chapter, permutation and combination. Okay. Very interesting chapter and very important chapter. Okay. So, permutation in combination is mainly about counting the different number of occurrence. Okay. So, actually counting sequentially like 1 2 3 4, we are going to find a new way of counting of each sequence. Okay, so there can be any number of scenarios in your everyday life where you need to find total number of ways that particular thing can happen, right? So sometimes counting manually using 1 2 3 4 is very hectic, right? So that's why we are going to find a new way of counting. Okay, so permutation of combination is basically a way of counting without actually counting. Okay, okay, is this clear, everyone? So it's a very interesting chapter. Okay, so most important and interesting chapter I can say it is, right? Why? Because like different number of questions that you will encounter, they different number of questions are different kind of theory, you can say. Okay, means each question will be unique and you need to there is not certain method to solve actual good questions. Okay, so like you have to be very clear about the scenario in the questions, like unlike the quadratic equation. So we set some different we set some different theory, and according to that theory some most of the question can done, right? But in permutation combination, different because number of questions are vast, very vast, and that's why it is one of my favorite topic, because you will find so many different ways to solve a particular question. Okay, is this clear? So today's class will be introductory class. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to first introduce the notion of factorial. What is factorial? And then we are going to introduce a notion of fundamental of principal counting. Okay, how actually, what is the fundamental behind the counting, how we actually count certain number of occurrence. Okay, is this clear, everyone? Is this clear? Shall we start with the chapter? Okay, okay, so let's start. So first of all, student, factorial. I know that most of you have already learned this in your school, factorial, but still we are going to read it again, because without factorial, counting will be very hectic. So that's why we have to make some base so that we can build upon it. Okay, so first is factorial. So what is factorial? Factorial is nothing but product of first and natural number. Product of first and natural number is denoted by n factorial. This is the sign. Okay, this exclamation sign is the sign for factorial, and it is read as factorial of n, and it is read as factorial of n. Okay, means if I say 2 factorial means product of first two natural number, means 1 into 2, right? Similarly, 3 factorial is product of first three natural number. What are first three natural numbers? 1 2 3. So product of 1 2 3, right? Similarly, what is the 4 factorial? 4 factorial is the product of four natural numbers, right? First four natural number 1 2 3 4, like this. Is it clear? So if I tell you, if I ask you what is n factorial, then n factorial is nothing but product of first n natural number, means 1 2 3, so on, like n minus 2, n minus 1, n. Clear? Product of first n natural number, right? Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? So factorial definition, factorial is very simple. Okay, and similarly, what is 1 factorial? Product of first natural number 1. Okay, okay, is this clear? Is this clear? Definition is clear. What is factorial? What is the n factorial? N factorial means product of first n natural numbers. Okay, so first n natural numbers are 1 2 up to n, so do the product of them. So that is nothing but a factorial. Is this clear, student? Is this clear? Any doubt in this? Right? It's very easy. Yes or no? Okay. So student, there is a one important note in this factorial is that this 0 factorial is 1 actually. Okay. 0 factorial is 1, that you have to remember. Okay. The proof of it, this you can find in many textbooks. Okay. But the proof is irrelevant. Okay. It's just simply that 0 factorial is 1. You have to remember it. Okay. One way of, you can say, if you have to prove one way, is that, see, let's start with this. When I said n factorial, right? When I said n factorial, what was that? For product of first n natural number 1, 2, 3 से लेके n minus 2, n minus 1 into n, right? So now tell me student, what is this? One product of first n minus 1 natural number 1, 2, 3 up to n minus 1. Yes or no? So this is product of first n minus 1 natural number, right? So this can be written as n minus 1 factorial into n. Clear? So n factorial can also be written as, first do the product of first n minus 1 natural number, then do the product with next natural number, which is n, right? Similarly, it can be written as n minus 2 factorial into n minus 1 into n. Is this clear? Is this clear? Right? So second thing that you have to remember in the factorial is that n factorial can be written as n into n minus 1 factorial. Is this clear? Is this clear? Clear? So what you can do, crudely, you can say that put n equal to 1 here. Put n is equal to 1. Put n is equal to 1. Right? So n is equal to 1 is 1 factorial is equal to 1 into 0 factorial. What is 1 factorial? Is 1 is equal to 0 factorial, right? So here also you can say that your 0 factorial is nothing but 1. Is this clear? Is this clear, students? Right? Okay. So next is that factorial of negative integer, irrational numbers, and fractions are not defined. Okay. Fractions, the factorial is only defined for positive number, means only for natural numbers the factorials are defined. Okay. And except, you can also say for the whole number it is defined, because we are considering that 0 factorial is 1. Clear? So 0 factorial is 1. So only for numbers from 0, 1, 2 up to like this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, for this number only my factorial is defined. Factorial of negative number, irrational number, fractions are not defined. Okay. So if I ask you, what is this? Root 3 factorial. Not defined. You will say not defined. Not defined. Right? Similarly, pi factorial, not defined. Why? Pi is again irrational number, not defined. Clear? Okay. So now student, these 7 factorial you have to remember. Okay, you have to remember it. Okay, it is better to remember it, because in this chapter we are there will be so many questions where we have to use these values directly. So it is better to remember this. Okay, so remember this. Remember 1 factorial 1, 2 factorial 2, 3 factorial 6, 4 factorial 24, 5 factorial 120, 6 factorial 720, and 7 factorial is 5040. Okay. प्रूफ क्या है? सिमिलरली अगर 5 फैक्टोरियल क्या होता है? प्रोडक्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट 5 नेचुरल नंबर. So 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So this is nothing but 120. Clear? What is 6 factorial? 6 factorial is nothing but 6 into 5 factorial, which is 6 into 120, which is 720. Right? So like this. Is this clear? Is this clear? Everyone, tell me, do you have any doubt so far? Any doubt so far? Everything is clear? Factorial is clear? Okay. If it is clear, then let's solve some questions on factorial. Okay. Yeah. The first question is, find n if n plus 1 factorial is equal to 12 into n minus 1 factorial. Okay. This is the question we have to find n. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so let's solve this question first. Let's solve this question. So student, first of all, what is this written? N plus 1 factorial is equal to 12 into n minus 1 factorial. Yes or no? Yes or no? So tell me, what is n plus 1 factorial? N plus 1 factorial is nothing but n plus 1 into n minus 1 factorial. Yes or no? Right? Is equal to 12 into n minus 1 factorial. Right? Right? So this is cancel out from both sides. So this is nothing but n plus 1 into n is equal to 12. So means n square plus n minus 12 is equal to 0. So now it can be factorized. Yes or no? N plus 4 n minus 3 is equal to 0. So n is equal to minus 4 or n is equal to 3. Right? But tell me, if we have defined our factorial, if it is defined, then n minus 4 will be rejected. Yes or no? This will get rejected. Why? Because if you put n minus 4 in your original question, it will create minus 3 factorial or like 3 factorial or right? Yes or no? Minus 3 factorial here and minus 5 factorial. And negative number ka factorial does not exist. So it means n will not be minus 4. So it implies n is equal to 3 is the answer. Is this clear? Is this clear? So it means n is equal to 3 is the answer. Any doubt, students, in this question? Any doubt? Okay. So did you understand? Right? It is clear why I have rejected n is equal to minus 4, because on putting n equal to minus 4 in my original question, I am getting negative factorial, which does not exist. Yes or no? So that's why I will reject this. Is this clear? Any doubt so far, students? Any doubt? Okay. If there is no doubt, then let's proceed. Okay, let's proceed. Similarly, next question is find the sum of series. Find the sum of series. Series क्या है? Summation. Series क्या है? Summation r is varying from 1 to n r into r factorial. So we have to find the sum of this series. Yes or no? Okay, this is your question. Okay. So student, see, in this question, if you go with this method, that if you put r equal to 1, like 1 into 1 factorial, then 2 into 2 factorial, then 3 into 3 factorial, like this, last में n into n factorial, right? It is very hard to sum this, right? Right? Yes or no? That means we need some different method to actually sum this, right? Actually, to add this, we need some different method. Okay. Okay. So I can use this. See what I can use this. If I can express this sum, this inside term r into r factorial as a difference of 2 factorial, let's say, or difference of something 2 quantity. So maybe after adding those quantity, I can cancel out some terms, right? So that is our aim from this question. Okay, so let's see how I can write this. Okay, let's start. सबसे पहले r is varying from 1 to n. See, this r I can write as r plus 1 minus 1 into r factorial. Yes or no? This can be written as r plus 1 minus 1 into r factorial, right? Okay. Now again, r is varying from 1 to n. See, I can multiply this like this. R plus 1 into r factorial minus 1 into r factorial. Yes or no? See here. Take r factorial common, then you will again get r plus 1 minus 1. Cancel out 1 and minus 1. Again r into r factorial. So this and this both are exactly same. Yes or no? These both are exactly same. So it means precisely this is written as r varying from 1 to r plus 1 factorial minus r factorial. R plus 1 factorial minus r factorial. Yes or no? Yes or no? And r is your varying from 1 to n. Clear? Is this clear? Any doubt so far, student, in this question? Any doubt? Okay. So now student, now start putting your term. What is put r is equal to 1? So what you will get term 1? Term 1 you get 2 factorial minus 1 factorial. 2 factorial minus 1 factorial. Put r is equal to 2. So term 2 is 3 factorial minus 2 factorial. Then put r is equal to 3. It is nothing but term 3, which is 4 factorial minus 3 factorial. Yes or no? Let put r is equal to 4. So term 4 become 5 factorial minus 4 factorial. And like this, when you put r is equal to n, so term n will become n plus 1 factorial minus n factorial. Yes or no? Now add these terms. Now add these. Add these terms. Add. Do the addition. Do the addition. So now see, if you're going to add these terms, see this 2 factorial, this 2 factorial get cancelled out. This 3 factorial, this 3 factorial get cancelled out. This 4 factorial, this 4 factorial get cancelled out. This 5 with this something, and like this. Finally, this n factorial will get cancelled out with this term. Okay. So finally, what you will get? What you will get? Sum is nothing but n plus 1 factorial minus 1 factorial. So there are actually two terms left which are get uncancelled, n plus 1 factorial and minus 1 factorial. So sum is nothing but n plus 1 factorial minus 1 factorial. Hence n plus 1 factorial minus 1. This is your sum. Clear? Is this clear? Everyone, tell me quickly in the chat box. This question is clear? So this is your answer. So n plus 1 factorial minus 1. This is your answer. Okay. Okay. Any doubt, students? Any doubt? So for the see, you can actually remember this also, or you don't have to remember, but you should know this from the question, that you should now know that r into r factorial can be written as r plus 1 factorial minus r factorial. Very, very important property. Okay. Okay. See, using this, we have solved this question, right? That means you have to remember this. Okay. You can actually remember this because in some question you can use of this fact. Okay. So that's why it's better to remember this also. Okay. Remember this also. Remember. Okay. Is there any doubt, student, in this question? Tell me quickly if you have any doubt. Ask me if you have any doubt. Any doubt so far? Any doubt? Is this clear? So the notion of factorial is clear, right? What is factorial? Sum of first and natural number. Yes or no? And how to solve, like we solved some questions on the factorial to get the idea, right? Is this clear? Because now we are going to use this factorial in our coming classes. Okay. When we will start permutation and then combination topic. Okay. So we should know what is factorial. Okay. Is this clear? Any doubt so far, student? Any doubt? You can ask me. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. Tell me in the chat box if it is clear, or do you have any doubt in this question? Any doubt? Okay. So let's proceed then. Let's proceed. So now let's start with the fundamental of principal counting. Okay, fundamental of principal counting. It is now I'm telling you, student, this is very, very important to understand this fundamental of principal counting. Why? Because without this topic, without this understanding, you will not remember any, you will not understand anything in the permutation and combination. You can say this fundamental principle of counting is the backbone of permutation and combination chapter. Okay. So simply, if you don't understand your first lecture, it means you are not going to understand any subsequent classes. So that's why this is very important to understand this topic. Is this clear? Am I clear to you? Okay. So in anywhere you have any doubt regarding this fundamental principle counting, stop me there, ask me the question, and get that clear in today's class only. Okay. Okay. So let's start with this. So let's start with the example actually. Okay. Let's start with the example. So question is, example is that, let's say you are going from city 1 and city 2 are connected by 3 different routes. Okay, city 1 and city 2 are connected by 3 different routes. Let's say city 1 maybe, let's say Ooty. Okay, okay, let's say city 1 is Ooty, and let's say city 2 is Bangalore. Okay, so there might be 3 ways from city 1 to city 2. Okay, one maybe by Mysore, second is somewhere, and third maybe somewhere. Okay, so maybe let's say there are 3 ways to from city A to city B. Okay, Bangalore to Ooty ke 3 ways. Now from city B to city C, let's say city C, city C, you can say which city you will like, Bangalore, then let's say Kurg. Okay, Kurg. So so city A and city B are connected with 3 different routes. City B and city C are connected with 2 different routes. Okay, so question is saying that in how many ways a person can go from Ooty to Kurg via Bangalore. Means person has to go from Ooty to Kurg, but he or she has to go via Bangalore. So how many ways this journey can be possible? So that is your simple question. Okay. Now to understand this, let's start. So tell me, student, how one can reach from city A to city C if that person take route 1, then route 4. Yes or no? Yes or no? Was this? Ooty, it was Bangalore, and it was Kurg. Okay, chalo. So it is clear. Okay. So now from city, see if person is decide to go with the route 1. Okay, from city A to city B, that person decide to go with route 1. Then and city B to city C, that person can go with the route 4 and 5 or 5. Yes or no? So R1, R4, right? First take route 1 and then take route 4. Or maybe R1 and R5, route 1 and route 5. Yes or no? There are 2 different ways. Yes or no? Each and every route are different. Yes, that is of course, right? That is obvious. Two routes means 2 different paths, right? Right? So one path is, first you take the route 1 and take the route 4. You will land in your city C. Then take the route 1, or you can take route 1 and then route 5, right? Similarly, if that person decided to take route 2 from city 1 to city B, then that person can take route 4 or route 5. So route 2 and route 5, route 2 or then route 5, right? Yes or no? Right? Similarly, if that person decided, okay, I don't want to go from route 1, route 2, let's go from route 3. So he or she go to Bangalore from Ooty taking route 3. Okay, that person reach in Bangalore. Now that person is deciding how I can go to Kurg. He or she has again 2 ways. Maybe from route 4 or route 5, right? So route 3 or route 4, that is one option. Or take route 5. Clear? Clear? So tell me how many different possible ways. How many different possible ways to go from Ooty to Kurg via Bangalore? Tell me. This is one different route. This is again some different route. This is again some different route. This is also different. This is also different. So how many are possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 different routes. Okay, or you can say ways. There are 6 different ways from city A to city C via city B. Is this clear? Is this clear? Clear? Right? Right? So we have just counted it manually that there are 6 routes. We have counted it out. Okay, we are got 6 routes. Clear? So now tell me how that now without actually counting, how can also one get through this question? Tell me. So clear hai, city that person has to go from route from city A to city C, means Ooty से कुर्ग जाना है Bangalore होते हुए. So means first person will go to Bangalore, right? First that person will go to Bangalore and then that person will go to Kurg, right? Remember, I'm emphasis on the word and A and B. And means from, like, if that person has to go to Kurg from Ooty, that person has to go via Bangalore. Means the route now will be whatever the route that person take. First, that person will go to Bangalore and then that person will go to Kurg. Clear? Okay. So now if I start, now we can use this thing that how many ways, tell me student, how many ways there are how many ways to go from Ooty to Bangalore? Tell me there are how many ways from Ooty to Bangalore? So 3 ways from Ooty to Bangalore. Clear? Right? And see, corresponding to each of these routes, how many routes are there from Bangalore to Kurg, right? And corresponding to each of these route, how two ways from Bangalore to Kurg. Clear? पहुंचा दिया कुर्ग में, पहुंचा दिया, right? From Bangalore to Kurg, right? So student, now tell me how many ways are there? 3 into 2 means 6 ways, right? Means 6 ways. Clear? Is this clear? ये समझ में आया? Means did you understand why I multiplied this thing, why I multiplied with this thing? See, is this clear? Question is clear, solution is clear, that there are 3 ways to go from Ooty to Bangalore, and corresponding to each of these routes there again will be 2 choices. Yes or no? There again will be 2 choices. Yes or no? If that person is taking route 1, then again he or she has 2 choices. If that person is taking route 2, then again he or she has 2 choices, right? Clear? So that's why we have multiplied. Is this clear? Okay. So one funda is that in permutation, whenever you say and means, let's say event A and then event B is happening. Okay, means 2 events are happening, okay, simultaneously. Okay, if 2 things are happening simultaneously, you will say event 1 is happening and event 2 is happening. Yes or no? This is how you will say. So whenever you see and, okay, so it means directly think about multiplying these 2 ways. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear or not? Tell me quickly. Is this clear? So whenever you think about that, yes, event A is also happening and event B is also happening, and somebody asks you that find the total number of ways of event 1 and 2 both are happening simultaneously, means that number of ways in event 1 is happening and number of ways in event 2 is happening, multiply these 2 numbers and total, that is your total answer. Is this clear? Okay, this question is clear. Okay, so now if this is clear, now the second problem is saying that in how many ways person in city B can exit city B, means person in city B can exit city B, means person बैंगलोर में है और बैंगलोर से बाहर जाना है. ओके, बैंगलोर से बाहर निकलना है उसको, थक गया बैंगलोर में. ओके, या तो वो ऊटी जाना चाहता है या फिर कुर्ग जाना चाहता है. क्लियर? इज दिस क्लियर? ओके, So now tell me, student, how in how many ways that person can exit city B, right? See, person can exit city B using these three route R1, R2, R3, right? Right? So they see that person can go to city A, yes or no? If exit करना है तो वो city A में जा सकता है, या फिर or that person can go to city C. Clear? So to exit city B, that person can go to either city A or city C. Okay, is this clear? So to exit city B, person can go to either city A or city B, C. Is this clear? I'm emphasizing on the word or. Right now, it doesn't necessarily. Now these two things will not happen simultaneously. Right? That person को बस city B से बाहर जाना है, उसको बैंगलोर से बाहर निकलना है. So that person may go to Ooty or that person may go to Kurg. Yes or no? So there is a choice. There is a choice for that person has. In the last question, when the person has to go to city A to city C, that person has to go with the city through city B, because question is saying that because that person does not have any choice. Now in this case, person has that choice that either city A or city C. Clear? Clear? So how many ways from city A to city B? So for city, so now three ways to exit city B, yes or no, toward city A, right? Similarly, two ways to exit city B towards city C. Clear? So there are three choices that person can exit city B towards city A, right? City A की तरफ चला जाए, या फिर there are two ways that person can go to city C, right? So now you will add. So now there are total 5 ways. Now there are total 5 ways to exit city B. Clear? Is this clear? So now you are adding. Now you are understanding why I'm adding here and why I was multiplying there. Right? Now the person has choice. The person that is in city B has choice that maybe he can go with the route 1, 2, 3, or he can go with the route 4 or 5. Clear? So now we have given them choice. Okay. इवेंट कैसे हो रहा है, बस उसको सिटी बी लीव करना है. ओके, डजंट मैटर कौन से रास्ते से जाए, अपन को लेना देना नहीं है उससे. हमें सिर्फ इस चीज से कंसर्न है दैट ही और सी हैज टू एग्जिट सिटी बी. ओके, सो वी हैव जस्ट काउंटेड द टोटल नंबर ऑफ वेज. सो 3 तरीके से तो सिटी बी को लीव कर सकते हैं टुवर्ड सिटी ए, एंड देयर आर 2 वेज टू एग्जिट सिटी बी टुवर्ड सिटी सी. So now add these 2 ways, then you will get that 5 ways that for exiting from city B. Is this clear? Tell me quickly, is this clear? Okay, this question should be clear to you. Okay, if you have any doubt you can ask me. Very good Harish, very good. Okay, if it is clear, then let's proceed. Yes. Okay, so whenever you see or whenever you see your or term in your thinking, in line of thinking, that either this or this, it means you have to add. So in short, you can say that, or if there is term or, then you have to add. If there is term and, then you have to multiply. Clear? Is this clear? So now the term comes fundamental principle of counting. So now we will define this thing. Whatever we have done through that first example, now we will write here. Okay, so it is saying that if a event A occur in m different ways, if a event A is occur in m different ways, another event B can occur in n different ways, then total number of different ways of first is simultaneous occurrence of both events in a definite order is m cross n. Okay, means the event both are happening simultaneously, so there is how many ways? M cross n ways. M cross n ways. Is this clear? So this is nothing but your multiplication principle. Okay, when event A is happening and event B is happening, total number of ways in which both event happen together is m into n ways. Now B is saying that both different number of ways of happening exactly one of the event. Now exactly one of the event should happen. So you know that either event A will occur or event B will occur. So number of ways of happening event A is m, number of ways of happening event B is n. So now you will add, yes or no? Now you will add. So basically funda ये है कि and means multiplication. Okay, or means addition. Okay, either this or this, something like this happens, then means add kar do. This and this happens, it means multiply kar do. Is this clear? Is this clear? Tell me quickly in the chat box, is this clear or not? Is there any doubt? Everyone tell me quickly in the chat box, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Okay, so see, so this thing you have to remember it. Okay, you have to remember it. So you can say that now if I ask you, okay, let's say event A is happening in m ways, n ways. Now this can be extended to the any number of terms. Okay, this can be extended to any number of terms. Okay, so let's say event A is happening in m ways, let's say n1 ways. One second. Let's say event A is happening in m1 ways. Okay, n1 ways. Event B is happening in n2 ways. Okay, event C is happening in n3 ways. Clear? So like this is happening. Okay, like this it is happening. So number of ways of happening all event together, number of ways of happening event simultaneously. कितने ways हैं? First, event A can happen in n1 ways. Corresponding to each of those ways, event B can happen in n2 ways. Corresponding to each of these ways, event C can happen in n3 ways, and like this. Is this clear? Is this clear? So this multiplication principle can be extended to n number of events. Okay, this is not only limited to 2 events. This can be extended to n number of events. Okay, is this clear? Bacho, is this clear? Do you have any doubt in the fundamental principle of counting? Do you have any doubt? Ask me if you have any doubt. Okay, if this is clear, then let's proceed. Okay, let's solve question now. Okay, now let's solve some question to get the idea inside it. Okay, इसको थोड़ा एब्जॉर्ब कर लेते हैं मल्टीप्लिकेशन वाला एंड एडिशन वाला थ्योरम को. ओके, क्वेश्चन इज सेइंग दैट फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ 4 लेटर वर्ड्स yes, am I audible? Students, Am I audible? Everyone, am I audible? Okay. Okay. So find the number of 4-letter word which can be formed out of letter word make, where first part is saying that repetition of the letter is not allowed. Second part is saying that repetition of the letter is allowed. Is this clear? So we have to make the 4-letter word from the letter these make. First part, repetition of the word is not allowed. Clear? Okay. Let's solve the first each part one by one. Okay, let's solve the each part one by one. Okay. So the first is when repetition of the letter is not allowed. When repetition of the letter is not allowed. Okay. When repetition of the letter is not allowed. Tell me. Tell me. There are 4 letters. Yes or no? There are 4 letters. Right? There are 4 letters. Tell me. In how many ways the first letter can be? What is the number of ways for the first letter? Tell me. Number of ways for the first letter is, word is M-A-K-E. Okay, understand this. Word is M-A-K-E. So we have letter M, A, K or E, right? And the repetition is not allowed. And the repetition is not allowed. So how many choices we have for the first letter? Either M, K, A, E, right? So 4 ways, 4 options, right? 4 options. Similarly, for the second letter, how many choices we have? 3, right? If I choose, let's say if I choose M in the first question, in the first letter, now I cannot use M here. Now I have to go with A, K or E. Yes or no? So that's why we have 3 choices here. Similarly, for the third letter, we have 2 choices corresponding to each of these. For the last letter, now if we have used the first 3 positions, now how many choices we are left with? Only 1. Clear? So how many ways are there? How many ways? Number of total letters can be, tell me, number of total letter is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Is this clear, student? Student, is this clear? Is this clear? Tell me quickly in the chat box. Is this clear? Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Okay. 1 second, student. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I think there is some problem with the network. Okay. Just be with me for the 1 minute. Okay. Just wait for 1 minute. One second. Yeah. Everyone, please pay attention here. Everyone. Okay. Am I audible, everyone? Tell me quickly in the chat box. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay. So as I was saying now, as I was saying that, see, we have to make the 4-letter word. Okay. Let me just do it again because there is some network issue here. Okay. So maybe my voice is not clear to some of you. So let me do this again. Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, student, see, question is find the number of 4-letter word which can be formed out of the letter the word make, where first part is repetition is not allowed. First part is repetition is not allowed. Clear? First part is repetition is not allowed. Okay. So first is repetition is not allowed. So see, we have to make 4-letter word. So there are 4 letters. Okay. There are 4 places, right? Tell me, in how many ways the first place can be filled? Tell me, how many choices we have for the first place? We can use any of these letters M, A, K, E. Yes or no? So there are 4 choices. 4 choices for the first position. Corresponding to each of those choices, how many choices we have for the second place? Now repetition is not allowed, right? So it means the letter that we have used on the position 1, that letter now we cannot use. So it means now we are left with only 3 choices. Is this clear? Again, now corresponding to each of these choices, how many choices we have for third place? Now, repetition is not allowed. It means the letter that we have used on the first and second places, those letter we cannot use on now third place. So 2 letter, maybe let's say M and K we have used on the first 2 places. Let's suppose. Then how many ways, how many letter are left? 2 letter means now we are left with 2 choices. So third place can be filled with 2 choices. Yes or no? Okay. Now, how corresponding to each of these ways, now how many choices are left for the fourth place? Again, first 3 places are filled. First 3 places are filled. Means we have used the 3 letters. Now, how many choices we have? Only 1 letter will be remaining. Yes or no? 1. Clear? So total number of ways are 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, 24. There will be total 24 letters when repetition is not allowed. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. Any doubt here? Any doubt, students? So let me write this down in words so that you can understand clearly more. Okay. First place can be filled with 4 ways. Yes or no? Because we have 4 choices. Now, corresponding to each of these choices, second place can be filled with how many ways are there? 3 ways, right? Similarly, corresponding to each of these, corresponding to each of these choices, third place can be filled with 2 ways, right? 2 ways. Yes or no? Now, corresponding to each of these choices, again, corresponding to each of these choices, fourth place now are left. Now how many ways are there? We have already used the first 3 letters. 3 letters we have used. Now only one letter is left. Means 4 places can be filled with 1 way only. 1 way. Is this clear? So that's why total number of ways are कितने आ गए? 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 means 24. Is this clear? Okay. See, this is I am going to do this written part only for this question only. Okay. Just you can get the idea why we are multiplying, just because this is your first question. So that's why I'm writing it down in very detail. Okay. Now I'm not going to write it down. Okay. This detail. Is this clear? So it's better you can understand this now. Okay. Why I'm multiplying this thing. Okay. If there is no doubt, then let's move to the second part. When the repetition of the word is allowed. Okay. Second part is there. Repetition of the word is allowed. Yes or no? Repetition of the word is allowed. Repetition is allowed. Now it means we can repeat our letters, right? Letters are M, A, K, E, right? We have to form four letter word. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes or no? Repetition is allowed. Tell me, how many choices we have for the first place? How many choices we have for the first place? 4 choices. Yes or no? Corresponding to each of these choices, again, for the second place, we have 4 choices again. let's say I have used, let's say first place I have written M. Now here I can again write M, A, K, E, any number. Yes or no? Any letter I can use because repetition is allowed. Similarly, corresponding to each of these, the third place again I have 4 choices. Yes or no? And for the last place also I have 4 choices, right? So what are the total numbers? 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 means 4 raised to the power 4 is your answer if the repetition of the letter is allowed. Is this clear? Everyone tell me quickly in the chat box, is this clear or do you have any doubt? Do you have any doubt in this question? So now you can understand when the repetition of the word is allowed or and not allowed, then how our answer get different. And obviously, if the repetition of the word is allowed, then we are given more choices to fill each place, right? So it means total number of word obviously will be greater in when the repetition is allowed. Yes or no? Clear? Is this clear? Okay. If it is clear, then let's proceed to the next question. Next question. Now question is saying that find the number of ways in which IIT JEE topper can select IIT branch and IIT and its branch. Okay, number of ways in which IIT topper can select IIT and its branch if there are 23 IITs in India and each IIT has 10 branch. Okay. So see student, first of all, let's say if somebody is getting IIT Bombay and CS. Okay, that is one way to go. Yes or no? And let's say IIT Bombay and CS. And let's say some and maybe that person is going to, let's say, IIT Delhi. He or she is taking IIT Delhi and CS. Yes or no? So these two are two different choices. Yes or no? Two different choices. Clearly IIT Bombay में CS लो या IIT Delhi में CS लो, there are two different choices. Yes or no? Right? So now tell me student, tell me in how many ways one person can choose IIT? How many ways? 23 IITs are there. Yes or no? There are 23 IITs. Means IIT can be chosen in 23 ways. 23 ways. Yes or no? There are 23 ways in which I can choose any college of IIT. Yes or no? Now corresponding to each of these colleges that I have chosen. Let's say I have chosen IIT Bombay. So now how many choices I have to select my branch? Tell me. There are 10 branches, right? So corresponding to each of these colleges, how many choices I have? 10 choices. Yes or no? So corresponding to each of these choices, right? There are 10 ways to select branches. Yes or no? Yes or no? So tell me there are how many ways then? Now remember, there are two things are happening. First I am choosing my IIT and then I am choosing my branch, right? You can see here I am using the word and. Yes or no? So it means I have to multiply these two numbers. Yes or no? The any college and branch is happening. How it can happen? First choose the college and then choose the branch. Yes or no? So these two things are happening. So there are 23 into 10 means 230 ways. Clear? So total choices are, total ways कितने आ गए? 23 into 10, 230 ways. Is this clear, student? Is this question clear? Okay, question is very simple, right? 23 IITs are there, 10 branches, and how many ways we can choose? The topper can choose IIT and its branch. So 23 IIT में से कोई भी choose कर लो, and corresponding to each of those IIT, choose any branch. So means 23 into 10. ये similar है जैसे हमने एग्जांपल किया था ना, सिटी 1 to सिटी 2, city A to city B and then city B to city C, right? So city A से city B जाने के 3 ways. Corresponding to each of these ways, there are 2 ways of going from city B to city C. Is this clear? Is this clear? So the same funda we have used here. Clear? Any doubt, students? Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay, very good. Very good. Very good. Yes, very good, Harish. Very good. Very good. So now let's move on to the next question. Now let's move on to the next question. Now, next question is saying that can students compete in a swimming race? In how many ways can they occupy the first 3 positions? Okay, in how many ways they can occupy first 3 positions? Clear? So now see, let's say this is first position, this is first position, this is second position, okay, and this is third position. Clear? Clear? So there are 10 students who are competing. There are 10 students who are competing, right? So in how many ways this 3 position can occupy, right? Tell me in how many ways first position can occupied. How many choices we have? Tell me. There are 10 students, so any of them can come in the first position. Yes or no? So it means 10 ways. 10 ways. Similarly, corresponding to each of these, how many choices are left with on the second place? Now it is clear. If some person is coming on the first place, then he or she cannot come at the second. Yes or no? So let's say if somebody is come on the first place, so now how many ways can they come in second place? There now we are left with 9 ways. Yes or no? Now we are left with 9 ways. And corresponding to each of these, how many choices are left for the third position? First position is filled. Some person has filled the first position. Some other person has filled the second position. So now remaining are 8 people. So it means there are 8 possible ways of fill that third position. Yes or no? It means 8 ways. So total ways कितने आ गए फिर? Total ways is 10 into 9 into 8. Is this clear? There are 720 ways. No, yes, very good. 8 ways. Yes, very good, Harish. 8 ways for the third position. Yes, yes. But total first third position can be occupied in 10 into 9 into 8 means 720 ways. Is this clear? Is this clear, student? Tell me quickly in the chat box. Tell me quickly. Is this clear? Everyone? Any doubt in this question? Any doubt? Everything is clear? Okay. Okay. If it is clear, then let's proceed to the next question. Okay. So now you are getting the hang of the idea, right? How we can count, actually how the counting is happening. Yes or no? Now, are you getting the feeling of the counting? Like how you are counting these things, right? So it is better, right? So always stick to your basic fundamental. That first place can be happening this number of ways. Now corresponding to each of the first position, second place can happen in second position can be filled in 9 ways. Yes or no? And corresponding to each of these, third position now is left with 8 choices, right? So means if I have to fill my first 3 position, means I have to fill all the 3 positions. So first and second and third. So that's why we are doing the multiplication here. Very good, Harish. Yes, very good. So now let's proceed. Now another question is saying that find the number of ways in which we can post 5 letters in 10 different letter boxes. 5 letters in 10 different letter boxes. Okay. There are 10 letter boxes. Okay. There are 10 letter boxes. Let's say box 1, box 2, box 3. Okay. Like this up to, let's say box 9 and box 10. So there are 10 letter boxes. Okay. And how many letters we have? 5 letters: L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. So now we have 5 letters and 10 letter boxes. Okay. So now tell me how many ways they can be get posted. Can anybody tell me in the chat box quickly? Can anybody tell me in the chat box in how many ways this 5 letter can be posted in the 10 different 10 letter boxes? Anyone? Quickly tell me in the chat box. Quickly. Quickly tell me in the chat box. Everyone. Tell me quickly in the chat box. Tell me quickly in the chat box. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's see here. So tell me, student, in how many ways? Tell me here. Everyone focus here. L1 can go to L1. Letter 1 can be go in any of the 10 boxes. Yes or no? Letter 1 can be go into any of the 10 boxes. Yes or no? Right? Any of the 10 boxes. So for letter 1, how many choices we have? 10 choices. For letter 1, we have 10 choices. Right? And corresponding to each of those choices, how many choices we have for letter 2? So letter 1 can be going to B1, B2, B3 up to B10. Similarly, letter 2 also can go into the B1, B2, B3, B9 up to B10. So similarly for letter 2 also 10 choices, right? B1, B2 से लेके B10, right? Letter 2 also can be going to 10 ways, B1, B2 up to B10. Similarly, letter 3 also 10 choices. Yes or no? Letter 4 also 10 choices, right? And letter 5 also 10 choices. Clear? Clear? So now tell me how many ways they can be posted. Question is saying that we have to post 5 letters, right? Right? So total number of ways are first letter can be posted in the 10 ways corresponding to each of those ways. Second letter can be posted in 10 ways corresponding to each of those ways. Third letter can be posted in 10 ways corresponding to each of which. Fourth letter can also be posted in 10 ways corresponding to each of which. Fifth letter can also be posted in 10 ways. So there are 10 raised to the power 5 ways. Clear? So this is your answer. Is this clear? See, let's say if L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 are going into B1 on box 1 only. So that is also one of the choice now, that all the 5 letter can go into the same boxes. Yes, and all the 5 letter can go into the different boxes. Yes or no? Clear? Is this clear? Is this question clear to you or not? Tell me quickly in the chat box. Is this question is clear to you or not? Okay. So now let me modify now this question. Okay. Now let me modify this question. And if I ask you that, that's the second part of this question is no two letters are going in same letter box. Then find total number of ways. Then find total ways. Okay, if the question is come like this, now no two letter are going in the same letter box. Now find the total number of ways. Tell me, if question is like this, now see if L1, L2, L3, L4, L5 are going in same letter box, now those choices are we cannot consider, because question is saying that no two letters can be in the same letter box, means now all the letters are in different boxes. Okay, and each box is different. Yes or no? We'll consider each box as different. Okay, right? So now tell me if L1, now let's start with L1. Okay, now let's start with L1. Now tell me in how many ways L1 can be go. Now L1 can be posted in 10 ways. 10 ways. Yes or no? Yes or no? L1 can be posted in 10 ways. Yes or no? Right? Now corresponding to each of these ways, now L2 can be go into 9 ways now, right? L2 can be posted into 9 ways. Let's say my letter 1 is going into B2, box 2. Now my letter 2 cannot go into box 2. Yes or no? Because no two letter can be going to the same box. So it means L2 will go into 9 ways. Clear? Now L3 will go into, now see L3. L1, let's say L1 is going into B2. L2 is going into, let's say, B4. Now L3 cannot go into B2 and B or B4. Now these two choices are not have. Now L3 has no, L3 does not have these two choices, right? So it means how many choices it has? 8 choices. So 8 ways. Similarly, L4 now have 7 choices. Clear? And L5 now have 6 choices. Is this clear? Everyone tell me quickly in the chat box. Is this clear? Are you understanding this thing? Is there any doubt in this question? Tell me quickly in the chat box if you have any doubt in the question. So total number of ways are 10 into first letter and then 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay. Is this clear? Is this clear? So these are the total choices. इसको calculate कर लेना जो भी answer आएगा. That many choices we have. Is this clear? So this is your answer. This is your answer. Okay. Harish is saying that 30,240 ways. Okay, I believe you, Harish. Okay. See, answer, what is the number is coming, that is not important right now. Right now is the concept. Okay, how this question and this question are different, right? In this question, let's say this is your first part. Okay, in the first part, there are no restriction for the each of the letter. Each of the letter can go into the any of the boxes. But now question is saying that in the second part, now no two letters are going in same letter box. Then total number of ways. Now how we have calculated. So this should be important. Okay. Yes, very good, Harish. Very good, very good. Okay. Shall we proceed? Shall we proceed further? If this is clear to you, shall we proceed further? Okay. Now this question, this is the last question from the today's class. Question is saying that how many 3-digit can be formed by the number 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. First part is without repetition. Second part is with repetition. So it is similar to the question that we did with the letter MAKE, with repetition, without repetition. Right? Right? Okay. So everybody pay attention. What are the digits we have? We have the option from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clear? 0, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this clear? So first part is without repetition. Without repetition. Without repetition. Can anybody tell me in the chat box quickly? What are the ways? Anybody? See, we have to make 3-digit choices. We have to make 3 digits. Yes or no? We have to make 3-digit number. Right? Everyone, now tell me, student, this 0, 20, let's say 0, 2, 3. This is not a 3-digit number, okay? This is not a 3-digit number. This is 2-digit number. 2-digit number. This is 2-digit number, okay? Okay. One, is this clear or not? 0, 2, 3. Number के आगे कितने 0 उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Number 23 है. This is 2-digit number. Okay. So it means position of 0 will be very crucial in my number. Okay. If 0 is coming in between or in front. If 0 is coming at front, then number will be no longer 3-digit. It will be 2-digit number. Yes or no? Right? Is this clear to you or not? Right? Okay. So now tell me, for the let's start with the first place only. Tell me how many options we have for the first place. How many options we have for the first place? First place थ्री डिजिट नंबर बनाना है. फर्स्ट प्लेस में जीरो नहीं आ सकता. Except zero we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are total 3, 5, 6. Total 3 digits or 6 digits are there, right? Zero आ नहीं सकता स्टार्टिंग में. So we have 5 choices. 5 choices, right? Zero cannot come on first place, right? Zero cannot come on the first place. Yes or no? Now repetition is not there. Yes or no? Now tell me, corresponding to each of ways, how many ways second place can occur? Second digit कौन सी हो सकती है? Now in second or third digit zero can occur. Yes or no? Only on first digit zero should not occur, right? So now let's say if the number 2 is come, let's say number 2 is on the first place. Let's say. So repetition is not allowed. So total digit are 6. Now we are left with only 5 choices. Yes or no? Right? So it means for the second digit, now we are left with 5 choices. Corresponding to each of which third place can be filled in 4 ways. Yes or no? Third place can be filled in 4 ways. Is this clear? So total numbers are 5 into 5. Yeah, Harish, your answer is not correct for the first part. The question is saying for the without repetition it is saying. Okay, means repetition should not be allowed. Okay, 5 into 4. Is this clear? Everyone tell me, is this clear? It means there are 100 ways. Clear? Is this clear? Without repetition, how it is affecting us, right? Because if the zero comes on the first place, it will be counted as 3, not 3 digit, 2 digit number. So that's why we accept zero. All the possible digit can come. So possible choices are 5 for the first place. Now on the second or third place, zero can come. So now zero can come here. Yes or no? So let's say my number 2. Let's say number 4 has come out of 5 choices. Let's say 4 is on the first. Now 4 cannot be repeated on third and second choices, right? So it means except for now 3, 0, 2, 3, 5, 6 means 5 choices and then 4 choices. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes, very good, Harish, very good. Now second part is without repetition. Second part is without repetition. Sorry. Now with repetition is allowed. Yes or no? Now repetition is allowed. Question is saying that repetition is allowed. Second part. Tell me, with repetition. Can anybody tell me? With repetition तो काफी easy हो जाएगा. अगर without repetition समझ में आ गया तो with repetition तो आराम से समझ में आ जाएगा. नंबर क्या थे? 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. यही नंबर थे ना? 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Okay. Number we have to make 3 digit numbers. 3 digit number बनाने हैं. Right? Now again, first place can be filled in 5 ways. Yes or no? 0 cannot come on the first place. Yes or no? So 5 choices. Right? Because 0 cannot come on the first place. Because 0 cannot come on the first place. Because number 0 cannot come on first place. Yes or no? Okay. Now tell me, 0 cannot come on the first place. Okay, so there are left with 5 choices. Now corresponding to each of which, how many choices we have for the second place? Tell me quickly in the chat box, how many options we have for the second place? 0 can come. Yes or no? And see, if the 2 is come here, let's say 2 has come here on the first digit. So second digit can be 2 because repetition is allowed. So it means we are now left with 6 choices. There any of these number 0, 2, 3, 4, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, any of the number can come on the second place. Similarly, for the third place, again 6 choices. Yes or no? Yes or no? So total ways कितने आ गए? Total ways are 5 into 6 into 6. So there are 180 ways. Is this clear? Everyone, tell me quickly in the chat box. Is this clear? Quickly tell me in the chat box. Is this clear or not? Any doubt, student? Any doubt regarding this? Today's, do you have any doubt regarding today's lecture? Any doubt? Okay. Okay, everything is clear, right? Okay, very good. So that's all for today, everyone. In the next class, we will continue with this only. Okay, we'll again solve more questions and then we will start the concept of permutation. Okay, so the fundamental principle of counting you should know. Okay, it should be very clear to you by now how we are counting it. Okay, because in the permutation, the fundamental of counting is going to come in every way, in every possible question it will come. So that's why it is very important that you should remember. Okay, thank you everyone. Yes, very good, Harish, very good. That's all for today, everyone. We'll meet in the next class. Okay, bye bye everyone, take care. Or before going, I'll give you some homework. I'll give you some homework question. Let me give you some homework question. 1 second. Yeah, so these are your homework questions, everyone. These are your homework questions. Okay, make sure to remember, make sure to solve this question. Okay, these are very important questions. Okay, so in the next class we'll start with the solution of these questions and then we'll start with the permutation. Okay, okay, that's all. If it is clear, then let's stop here. We'll meet in the next class. Okay, bye bye everyone, take care everyone, take care.